Hey guys, I wanted to thank our sponsors, Bank to the Future, a global online investment platform that allows investors to invest in fintech companies and financial innovation. With over 50,000 accredited investors already active on the platform, they managed to raise $30 million for their new token in just 15 hours. Check out the link in the description of this video below to learn how you can become whitelisted today. Hello, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm your host here, Sam Capizzi at CryptoSaamne.com to talk to you about the top 5 ICOs of the month here in February. What's going on everybody? Of course, we're going to start with number 1, one of our sponsors, Bank to the Future, which I covered in a video. You can go check out and learn more about it in the video before this. And it's an ICO that I haven't seen anybody talk about yet, and I honestly don't think they need a lot of coverage of them being spoken about or talked about. They are actually doing very, I think, quite well. They've raised $30 million. I think it was in about, what did I say, about 45 minutes, something like that. Sorry, 15 hours. And yes, I did get a haircut. Gosh, I shaved everything. I shaved my beard, my hair. I wanted to, I don't know, you don't need hair, do you? It's also been a few days since my last video. I think it's been a few days. The Super Bowl happened. Did I do a video after the Super Bowl? I think I did, actually. Who knows? It hasn't been that long. I don't think I did one yesterday. But anyway, we're going to talk about my top 5 ICOs of the month. And why don't you guys, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll give you even a couple of tad bonuses, a couple of other ICOs that I'm looking at that kind of didn't make the list. And I'll basically point those out as well. But we're going to start with Bank to the Future, and no one's talked about it. They have raised a ton of money. They have over 50,000 accredited investors on their platform. They've basically been existing for a while, and it's obviously one of the criteria that I look for in any ICO. So I look for a company that's existing, and they have that. They've been operating for a while, and if we browse their investments, what you can see is they've actually invested. What they are is an equity company. They've invested into, well, let me go back out to the front page before I explain this. So let me explain what they are and what they do. So they are an investment platform, and they basically pool money together to basically allow you to invest into other companies. And they've been doing that for a while without a token. They didn't need a token. And they've been doing that, and they've invested in some of the biggest companies that you've seen here today, including some of the biggest exchanges, some of the biggest cryptocurrencies, a whole slew of things. Actually, before I show you just how much equity they have in some of these companies, let me show you whom they've invested in particular. They've invested into Kraken. They've invested into Ethereum, Shapeshift, BitPay, Factom. They've invested in Bitwage, Storage. They've invested in Bitfinex. Bitfinex is the largest exchange. Here it is right here. They've the largest exchange in the world, oftentimes by volume, for Bitcoin. So if we head over to CoinMarketCap real fast, let me just see. If we click on Bitcoin, which is doing pretty well recently, we recovered. We had great news about the SEC stuff. And if we take a look at markets, Bitfinex is right now the #1 exchange in Bitcoin. They own 25% of Bitfinex. That's insane. I had no idea. Like, if I could actually invest 25% into Bitfinex, I mean, obviously I don't have enough money to invest in, but back then they didn't need as much money. You know, these were only, you know, probably several $million investments. 25% probably wasn't that much. They own 25% of Bitfinex, which is just insane to me. Gosh, if I had 25% of Bitfinex, these guys are pretty loaded. They've made obviously very good decisions, and you can scroll through their through their investments. So they own 2% of Bitstamp. They own, it doesn't disclose here on Shapeshift, and I know it's a little grayed out because it's not available in my country, but they own 25% of Bitfinex. They own 10% of Kim. They own, let's see what else, Storage, Convertible Note, MadeSafe. They own 6.25% of MadeSafe. A ton of great companies. I couldn't believe it. So they are introducing their token, which you have to whitelist for. The whitelisting is going on now. It lasts until sometime next week. So if we go to get started, where is it? ICOs, apply here, and pre-register. There's a timer somewhere here. There it is. 5 days left to whitelist. So like any ICO these days, you have to whitelist, and it's honestly becoming harder and harder to participate in ICOs, especially if you're a U.S. citizen. It's almost virtually impossible if you're a U.S. citizen. You can often invest, however, if you are an accredited investor. So it really depends on if you can do that or not. And there's definitely, it's becoming a lot harder. I think a lot of people are launching ICOs these days. Existing companies are launching ICOs. You have companies coming out of the woodwork launching ICOs. So it definitely becomes a lot harder to select what are good ICOs. But and these ICOs that I'm covering, these top five, it's in no particular order, by the way. It's just a a round list. I'm not going to be able to tell you which one I think is the best, but I do have a personal favorite, which we will save for last. I think we'll save my favorite for last. The one ICO I have in mind is probably the best ICO of the year, hands down. I think the community even agrees, and you guys may even know what it is, but we're going to start with that. So that's number one, Bank to the Future, and they're introducing their token for a number of reasons. Transparency in their system. They're offering it for faster real-time data to keep everyone up to date and in line. There's a couple of things that they're introducing the token for. Again, it's an investment platform, so you can invest into some of the other companies that they're choosing. And the owners of these companies are, just like a normal company works. They get shares and dividends. They get dividends paid back to them. So, Bitfinex obviously is doing very well. They make millions of dollars per day. So I was not paid to talk about any of these ICOs, someone asks. So these are all ICOs that I have either are participating in or I'm going to participate in. So none of them was paid. None of this is sponsored. These are all ICOs that I have hand selected as part of my top 5 of the month. So I think it is pretty safe. I mean, I had an interview with the CEO. You can obviously go back and watch that on the channel. And they have a great track record. I mean, they've invested into all of the biggest companies you see here today, including Ethereum, Civic, Storage, Factom, MadeSafe, Ripio. You guys probably have seen a lot of these. So you can take a look at these yourself. I think they've made very wise investment choices to date. Their ICO is launching in about a week's time. The pre-sale sold out again. They raised $30 million. I think it was in 15 hours. I think it was 15 hours. I forget what I said earlier. But definitely look for that. They are, again, you can check them out on Bank to the Future. Well, sorry, it's not banktothefuture.com. It's BF-token. And in fact, maybe I'll put the links in all these afterwards so you can get them. But Bank to the Future is going to be number 1. Let's move on to number 2, and let me see if there's any order to this. So let's start with this. Let's do Metronom. So Metronom is one that you guys might have heard about already, and they were basically building a self-governance protocol reliability cryptocurrency. And the biggest thing that I think is attracting a lot of people to Metronom right now is the fact that Jeff Garzik is the CEO. And he is a big Bitcoin entrepreneur in the space. He has, the name Jeff Garzik. If you've been around Bitcoin or cryptocurrency as long as I have, you probably know the name. There are a lot of guys that know these names. These are very popular people, Jeff Garzik, and they have a lot of people on their team, and they have a very interesting token model, which is also something that is, I don't know if it's interesting or not. Honestly, I think it's just a marketing scheme to basically incentivize people to get into their token earlier. What they're doing is they're taking an approach. They're trying to take a stance very similar to other ICOs. There's some ICOs right now that are trying to take weird stances on how the token metrics works and how you invest, etc. And basically, they are doing a descending model where if you invest into the cryptocurrency, into the ICO, sorry, they are actually, you get more the longer you wait. the longer you wait to invest, the more you get. And what they're doing is, by doing that, is they're trying to actually eliminate whales. And I don't think that is going to change anything. I think the whales are going to buy regardless. But they're trying to basically make it a little bit, it's their attempt at basically making the ICO a little bit fairer in that regard, the way that the token sale is going to, you know, be processed and so forth. You know, Civic has some really interesting ones where you had to wait in line. They were one of the few. There's all kinds of different ways, I think, to do it now, and I think the ways that people do it is almost a marketing scheme or effort in and of itself. So Metronom's biggest, not biggest, I think what they're doing that makes them so interesting is that they are basically, you know, they have this weird token model. And if I could pull up the graph, let me see if I can actually show it to you. Metronom ICO sale details. Let me see if I can find the page. There's a great article. I think it's on Medium. And let me see if this is it. It's actually a there's a graph. Where is the graph? I wish I could show it to you. It's basically when the ICO starts, you get, I think it's 2 Metronom per 1 Ethereum. And let me see if that's right. Or maybe it's 1 in addition to the 2 methods of acquiring blah, blah, blah. Metronom. Okay. Important dates. Advisors, Vinny Lingham, etc. Where is the details on that? It's either 1 Ethereum equals 2 Metronom, or it's 1 Metronom is 2 Ethereum. I think it's got to be the other way, right? 1 Ethereum equals 2 Metronom. And then it has a descending model where if the longer you wait, the cheaper it'll be. But you also run the risk of the ICO actually selling out because it is a highly sought after ICO. So the initial auction will go on for a week with an initial price of 2 Ethereum. So I was wrong and right. So it's actually 2 Ethereum per Metronom, and every 60 seconds the price will be reduced by about 1/1000th of an Ethereum, and this will be done until all the tokens are sold or until a price floor of 0.000033 ETH is reached. So it's a very interesting ICO in the way that it's being held in regards to its token sale. And I think the biggest thing about it that interests me, again, is the fact that Jeff Garzik is the CEO. So if you're not familiar with who Jeff Garzik is, he was one of the core Bitcoin core developers that helped develop Bitcoin. So it's very interesting, you know, from that regard, I think. So I know there's a lot of people, a lot of interest in it. It's going to be very interesting. Like I said, the longer you wait to get into the ICO, the cheaper it's going to be for you. However, you run the risk of actually not being able to participate in the ICO at all if you wait too long. So their ICO actually was recently delayed. It was supposed to start February 5th, and I think, I'm not sure why. I think it was due to the fluctuation of ETH. I think they made the, I'm not actually, I don't quote, I'm not sure. I'm not going to quote a reason. But I think, well, I know they delayed their ICO. As to why, I'm not sure. For most ICOs, someone asks, since the SEC said ICOs are securities, can we still get them in the US? So almost no matter what, you're going to have to probably be an accredited investor. At this point, if you're not an accredited investor, you're probably not going to be able to participate in any ICOs unless you're from outside of America. If you're from America, you're probably going to need to be an accredited investor. So we have that. So there's Metronom. That's number 2. Again, these are in no particular order. These are all ICOs that I've either participated in or I'm looking forward to participating in. So I have not been paid to talk about any of these ICOs. They are all really solid ICOs, and I think we'll save number 5, the best, for last. So let me talk about number 3. So number 3 is professional data for the professional world, is doc.io. And now Doc is another ICO that I'm participating in, and I think that it's very similar to Data Wallet. And if any of you know or saw me cover Data Wallet, we also participated in the Data Wallet ICO, and we feel that this is a very similar competitor. And I think I'll be covering it more on the channel in depth tomorrow. But it's a very similar to Data Wallet. So if you're not familiar with what Data Wallet is, they're basically decentralizing data, and data is becoming the most valuable resource on earth over things even like oil. I think there's an interesting graph, at least in Data Wallet's white paper, where they cite that basically data there will be an inflection point where I think in 2021 data will become the most rare I'm sorry, not the rarest, the most expensive or valuable resource on earth. Right now I think oil is regarded as that. I think they've shown in their graph some of the most valuable resources on earth, and now data, with the innovation obviously of the internet and furthermore the expansion of what blockchain technology can do, data is obviously becoming more and more and more important and more sought after. And a lot of these ICOs you see are basically, you know, selling data or giving you back some ownership of your data and allowing you more control of your data to sell and buy it at your own discretion. And this is very similar in that regard. So basically they are very similar. They're a decentralized data exchange. And if I could give you an example of that, for example, let me tell you, for example, a lot of you use Spotify. I mean, I use Spotify. If you're not familiar with what Spotify is, it's a music app. And you can start to, just like Pandora, you can be hit with, you know, when you're listening to a song and it comes on Spotify, you basically are a person, you basically get hit with songs that you might like afterwards. So, you know, you're listening to a song and then it's over and another song comes on and it starts to collect that data. You can start to give it thumbs up, you can start to give it thumbs down, you can start to skip, and the system, Spotify, gets to know you better about you know, your data. What you can do is these different apps, things like Facebook, things like Google, things like LinkedIn, you can start to basically transfer that data from platform to platform to platform. So maybe when you sign up for Spotify, it does not have to re-recognize you, or not re-recognize you, but if you're new to the platform, it has to acquire that data over time. You have to start to give it your personality, your flavor. You have to basically start to click next, thumbs up, thumbs down. And what these platforms can do is you can basically transfer that data. If there was a system in place like blockchain technology, you can start to connect these different platforms, these pieces of data, pieces of your Facebook profile, pieces of your LinkedIn, your Google, your Gmail, you know, all these different types of things that require data. You know, the list goes on and on. There's almost no limit as to what kind of data we could be talking about. You could, you know, data, it takes many different flavors, and they've, you know, they highlight Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn, some of the biggest obvious platforms that store our unique data, and they give you that control. So you can basically say whether or not, or choose whether or not they want to share that data with, you know, other people. Similar things to, like, you know, BitClave, where you can choose to sell your personality and be hit with certain ads. If you're familiar with what BitClave and advertising is doing. So very similar in that, and I definitely think there's a need, and I think data is, I agree, and I agree in that it is becoming the most valuable resource on earth. Data is extremely important, and I'm very excited about these data ICOs. I'm excited about Doc, I'm excited about Data Wallet, and I think that they're basically very similar. I think they're very similar, and they both have the potential to do well. It's very hard to say right now which one is better. I'll be honest, I like both, and I'm invested into both. I also want to point out some of their partners and advisors, which is one of the biggest reasons I invested in. They have advisors from a number of cryptocurrencies that I'm also either invested in or like or know about. Things such as WePower, Request Network. You guys know that I am basically, we've covered Request Network, I think, in depth in a Prezzo a couple weeks ago, maybe not. I don't know if I ever did that. I definitely wrote a presentation on Request Network. I'm not sure if I ever shared it, but Request Network, you have CoinFee, you have WePower, you have Apex, you have, who else? We have Charlie Shrem, who is a big Bitcoin entrepreneur, very similar to Jeff Garzik. He's been in the space for a long time. He's labeled here as a Bitcoin pioneer. He is huge. Self-Key, which is another ICO Inc. protocol, another one that you guys I actually talked about before on the channel. And then some of their investors include, and partners, things like Deloitte, DCH, Blockwater Capital. I don't know all of these here, but I certainly know some of them. And that is some of the biggest things that interested me, were the advisors being obviously Charlie Shrem, and then a slew of other advisors from other ICOs or recent ICOs that I knew about. Now, I remember quoting on and considering a lot back in the day, QTOM versus Neo, and going, you know, should I invest into one or the other? And question, can they coexist? Can they work together? Will they both be here? And the more I've learned about Neo and QTOM, I realize they're both here to stay. They both serve very different markets, and they're actually quite different projects the more and more I've learned about them. And I could see, you know, I don't know enough about Doc and Data Wallet right now to say that one or the other is going to be here, but I could see them coexisting, just like I actually now see Neo and QTOM coexisting together. At first, it was kind of like, I like one better than the other. Now I realize that they're both great platforms, and they both are actually quite different. And perhaps the more I learn about Doc and Data Wallet over time, maybe there isn't a niche or a need for both of them. So I'm invested into both because I think it's a good hedge. You know, that's why I'm invested into several platforms. We have Ethereum, we have Cardano, we have EOS, etc. The list obviously goes very, very long for platforms. So I don't think there's, you know, a reason why you shouldn't hedge your bets if you like Data Wallet. Of course, if data isn't for you, if you don't see data as important, or if you just don't like the team or anything, there's no reason why, you know, it's fine if this ICO doesn't suit you. But if you liked Data Wallet, this ICO I think is very similar and has a lot of the same potential. So, by the way, I'm not going to answer any questions today on questions unrelated to the ICOs. I'll answer questions related to the ICO questions and stuff. So, somebody asks about Dottie. Dottie ICO, I believe, is over. Dottie was an ICO we definitely liked a lot. The only different thing is, or the only bad thing was the possible or potential plagiarism with Sonam's white paper that they had. So, by the way, if you like this content, please give it a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel. If you're not, hit that little subscribe button. If you are not a subscriber of the channel, we do these videos here every day to give out as much content and as information as possible. Again, these are my top 5 ICOs of the month. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button if you like the content. Again, we'll keep the information restricted to basically just ICOs today. I answer questions obviously a lot of time, but let's talk about just ICOs today. Thanks for having us, buddy. Holiday, good to have you. I dabbled in Data Wallet M2, so yeah, I like Data Wallet. I like these both a lot. These both are 2 good ICOs, and I do see data. These ICOs definitely fall more in line with kind of my flavor. I'm an engineer, so I definitely like some of the, I don't know, societal impact. And, you know, data is just right in my alley. You know, I like data. I like statistics. I'm a scientist by nature, and I like, you know, I like that kind of approach to things. So Doc is number 3 on my list. Now let's talk about number 4. And by the way, we're going to save number 5, my best, for last. But number 4 is Bridge Protocol. And I really like Bridge Protocol because I like, and M2 asks, what's the biggest difference between Data Wallet and Doc? I don't see much of a difference yet. Like I said, I see them as competitors. So I have hedged my bets and I've participated in both pre-sales. But like I said, there's a potential that they could coexist just like Neo and QTOM are today, even though they are very similar. Now, next up is Bridge Protocol. And I really like Bridge Protocol because I have not seen something competing in that space. I have not seen something in this space before, and first to market is huge for me, and it's one of the reasons why I've invested into things very early on. I was an early adopter of Ethereum. I got into Monero, first of its class in privacy. I was invested into a lot of these different niches that I think were just first to market, and I think Bridge is the first one that I saw that is specifically built around privacy, digital identity, but for KYCs and ICOs. Now we have Civic, we have Self-Key, which and we have another one called The Key, which provide digital identities on the blockchain for an ecosystem, and in Neo's example for their smart economy world. And Civic could be used for a lot of things. Bridge Protocol is specifically niching themselves for the KYC and ICO process, and you guys saw what happened with the B token and their ICO process, and how emails and stuff were leaked from their you know, whatever servers, wherever they stored those emails, and there was a phishing attack, and some people actually lost a lot of money, which was pretty shitty. Bridge protocol is seeking to basically decentralize that and take data and storage of digital identities for KYC and ICO processes and do it through their platform, the Bridge protocol. And by being a protocol and not just a specific one-off niche, they will be able to basically accommodate many ICOs. They're not looking to just, live in their own world. And one of the biggest things I liked about that is they're partnered with Neo. They're built off the Neo platform, and they are only taking, as far as I'm aware, Neo for their investing. I whitelisted, and I'll be participating in this ICO. If you did not whitelist, you might have to wait till the actual token sale starts and not be part of the pre-sale. But I would, and regardless of all these ICOs, even if you don't get to participate in the ICO, as a pre-sale, as an accredited investor, as a whatever, you're right. I see some questions. You can actually get a lot of these. You can basically get a lot of these post-ICO. You can get them after they hit exchanges. Sometimes you can even hit them cheaper than exchanges. Not all. Like the next ICO, I doubt you're going to be able to get this post-ICO at a cheaper rate. There's no way. There's some of these that you can flip. You can get in, and there's almost a guarantee that you're going to be able to sell them at a what's the word? At a premium. For example, the next ICO that we'll be covering, there's almost no doubt in my mind that that one's going to sell for more on the exchange than it is in the ICO. But a lot of these ICOs, if you're not fortunate enough to be an accredited investor, if you're from the US, if you don't have $1 million in savings, etc., you can get them oftentimes off the exchange. And what I best do when I miss an ICO, even when I miss an ICO, I don't hear about every single ICO. There's thousands of ICOs, and there are some that slip under my radar and are great projects. What I'll do is I'll let it calm down for a week or two after it hits exchanges. I'll let the whales get out. I'll let the early adopters, investors get out that were looking for a quick flip and see where the price settles, because it usually takes a week or two to figure out where it's going to settle. So I definitely strongly advise, if you don't get into any ICOs, these are all great projects to look for even after they launch, even afterwards, and you can have the extra additional time and use it to your advantage to research them and actually see, does it make sense? And you can invest in post-ICO. There's nothing wrong with that. I do it. Honestly, more times than not, I invest post-exchange. I invest about 5% of my overall portfolio is allocated to ICOs. So this is not even a main focus of my portfolio. ICOs by nature are risky and they don't promise anything. There's no promised returns. So you have that. So someone asks, with the CryptoSaamne Advantage, do you send calendar invites when the ICO is listed for pre-sale? So in the CryptoSaamne Advantage, we do a number of things. We rank our top ICOs of the month. We even, and I don't want to say anything too loud on the stream, but we sometimes pull ICOs together for you guys in the Moon Lounge and give you opportunities to get into some of these pre-sales. And a lot of times what I do is, by attending so many conferences, and we have so many coming up, we honestly find a lot of ICOs that just go unnoticed and under the radar. Some of the best ICOs aren't out there on YouTube marketing. They are behind closed doors, or they're not even here yet. That's how we found out about several of the ICOs we covered here on the channel, and how we got to participate in some of the ICOs recently that we've just, we've heard about. You get to find out firsthand by attending these different conferences, meetings. I've been invited to several these next couple of months, and I'm looking very forward to every single one of them, because we get to know a lot of information ahead of time. We're actually looking right now to move to Puerto Rico within the next several months to be closer to a lot of things going on there. We're actually attending a conference and hopefully speaking there next month in Puerto Rico at, I think it's called Puerto Crypto, March 14th through the 16th. And there's a lot going on there. There's a lot of information being spread in a lot of different places and conferences. And as part of the CryptoSaamne Advantage, we share all of that with you. We share everything that we get, obviously early, to anyone that subscribes to our CryptoSaamne Advantage, which is an opportunity to learn and further educate yourself. Buy and sell recommendations. We tell you which ICOs we're participating in. We help pull you into certain ICOs that we feel are good. You get access, 24/7 access to the Moon Lounge, which includes direct communication with my team and I. You get a whole bunch of stuff. And if you're interested, you can even try it for free for 14 days on our website. All you have to do is come over to CryptoSaamne.com and click the CryptoSaamne Advantage. You'll basically get an opportunity to try it for free for 14 days to make your own decision. You can download all the reports, check them out, the previous ones, see if it makes sense, and Poker Puerto Rico. I'm looking very forward to going to Puerto Rico next month. We'll be going early next month before the event to spot out, see if it makes sense to live there long term. And I'm very much looking forward to it. And if anyone has anything to recommend, I've never been to Puerto Rico. I've traveled a ton. I've never been to Puerto Rico, though, and I'm looking extremely forward to just learning as much as I can. Does it make sense to make the move? And talking to my CPAs, my lawyers, trying to find out as much as I can. You know, Act 20 and Act 22. If anyone's familiar, Puerto Rico is a tax haven for anyone looking to realize capital gains, like myself or many crypto enthusiasts that have recently acquired a lot of crypto or are looking to purchase crypto going forward. So Daddy Puerto and Uncle Samo are looking to move to Puerto Rico, and we're looking very forward to attending next month. I'm very excited, and if anyone has any information to share, please reach out. And by the way, we're looking for a number of people, writers. We're looking for developers. We'll be looking to start our own ICO. So if you're into blockchain technology, looking to help out, we are hiring in all capacities almost. And even if we might not need you now, we may reach out to you in the future, as we are always looking to grow and expand. So let's get back to the topic at hand. I'm looking at your guys' questions. I will, like I said, Bridge Protocol is first to market in regards to the fact that it is, I haven't seen anyone doing digital identity with respect to the KYC process, which I can see is 100% needed in the space, especially after seeing what happened to the B token. Now, we have other competitors in the digital identity space, but like I said, they fill a niche role, which I like. Civic or The Key isn't doing that in that regard. They're not doing specifically KYC for ICOs. So I can see this being very profitable. And the fact that it's built off Neo, I think, is also an additional marketing scheme. Their website looks beautiful. Obviously, I'm not someone to buy just off of, say, the website, but I do take user design into account. I think it looks very well done. It looks sexy. If we take a look at the Bridge Protocol Reddit, not a ton of people there. Let me see if I could head to the official Bridge Protocol. Looks like it's not here yet. I'll subscribe. Maybe it'll get populated. But there is I don't know what I was going to say. My mind shot there. There's some decent talk about it, and I find it very interesting. Someone asked, how can we contact you? You can go to our website, use the contact us form to contact us. Like I said, we're looking for all kinds of people to help out. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm here to answer them tonight. I want to talk just about ICOs. Tomorrow we'll have a normal tuned in program where we try to cover information on the markets and stuff. But today, there are actually a lot of good ICOs out there that are happening this month. And I think there's a lot of potential for a lot of flips, a lot of potential to get into some ICOs for a great flip. And these are definitely 4 or 5 that have caught my eye. And some of them, not all of them, are obviously having token sales, or pre-sales rather. But let me go on with the next one. So the next ICO, number 5, and I'll even cover a couple bonus ones that I like. In addition to that, I know this says top 5, but this ICO is probably, perhaps, the best ICO of the year. And it's called Nex. And you guys might have already been familiar with Nex. And this is not the website. Nex.io. Is it Nex.io? It's not. AnyX ICO. Let's get the real website. The Neon Exchange. That's what it's called. So this is AnyX. It's probably the biggest token sale or most anticipated token sale of at least the springtime, maybe the year. We'll see. There's obviously a lot of innovation coming out in the space. And AnyX is basically, through 2 or 3 words, it's Neo's version of Kyber. It's Neo's version of Kyber. It's their decentralized exchange. And decentralized exchanges are huge. They are the future. We already know that. And I've said that many times here on the channel. I have that Neon is making a statement. There is no pre-sale. You're going to have to line up in line for the ICO just like anybody else. There's no official release date. It is, again, probably the biggest ICO. People, if you're in the community and you know a lot about ICOs, it is hands down the biggest ICO happening this spring or winter. There's no official release date. It just says, I think they quote a Q1. We'll see if that gets delayed or not. It is happening soon, so you're going to have to keep an eye out as to when exactly. And if you get lucky enough to participate, I'm almost sure that they're going to limit the contribution amount. As I know that this is, I mean, it is one of the biggest ICOs out there this month. It is, this quarter rather, I should say. And it is Neo's version of Kyber. Kyber is a decentralized exchange built off of Ethereum. Someone asked real fast, I'm a writer for Steemit. What's your opinion on it? I actually like Steemit a lot. I like the idea. I think it could be improved upon. It's a shame that Dan Larimer just up and left it. Not cool in that regard, but it's got a lot of things right. There's a lot of things wrong with Steemit too. I mean, if we're talking about the actual token and the protocol and things itself, there's a lot of things wrong with it that could be better. I'd love to see more social media platforms out there that involve cryptocurrency, because I think it's a fantastic idea. Steemit. There's a lot though that could be improved with it that I think Dan Larimer just didn't follow through with, and now is working on EOS. So hopefully he doesn't leave EOS as well. But AnyX is a decentralized exchange, and we know decentralized exchanges are the future. And Allison, you ask AnyX over OneChain, and I think both are very good, both a little different. But I think AnyX, maybe if I had to pick one, I'd take AnyX. I think AnyX is, Neo has proved itself to be pretty much the second best platform out there behind Ethereum. And we're going to be doing a tutorial soon on how you can actually add Neo tokens to your Neo wallets. They currently are the only other wallet that I know of now that you can actually add tokens underneath a Neo wallet address, just like Mu, just like an ERC20 address where you can start to send tokens. They're moving along very well. In that regard, they're not, you know, they're not like, you know, say, what else? Cardano. You can't have an ICO off Cardano. They're just not here yet. They're a little bit behind the times, and they have to play catch up. Cardano obviously promises a lot, and I'm super excited to see what they can do. I'm a big believer in them, but Neo is very far ahead of the pack right now, and the Neo team is investing obviously in the Neo exchange. This is their exchange. It's going to do extremely well. I honestly don't even need to say that much more about it, because it's hands down going to sell out. It's hands down going to be I don't think this is one that you're going to be able to purchase for cheaper on the exchange. Kyber, just for comparison, sold for about 50 cents in its ICO, and then it went for $1.50 at its cheapest on the exchanges. So I don't think you're going to be able to get this one cheaper. So if you can get into the ICO, fabulous, because I doubt you're going to be able to get it at a cheaper rate than the exchange. And I would set some alerts. I would try to do everything you can to be part of the AnyX ICO. There's no doubt in my mind that this thing is going to be here for a while. And if they've learned anything from Kyber, they will do very well. Kyber has done very well. They've had very slow, steady growth by volume, which is great to see. It's not been big, wavy lumps in and outs. I like healthy, organic, regular growth. Bitcoin from 8 to 20,000, that is not nice, steady, gradual growth. We're seeing that though with Kyber, and I think that could be the same thing for Neo. I mean, the Neon exchange, it's obviously it needs to be built first. It's not going to be out right away, but it'll be interesting to see if they live up to expectations. I've liked the fact that Kyber has been traveling in an upward groove, and it's actually one of the tokens that really did not get hit at all during this recession. In terms of Bitcoin, it's held its own value extremely well. In fact, we did not really drop the line here. And if I open up, what is that website called? TradingView. Let me just pull up the charts so I can show you a little bit of Kyber just as a comparison. Again, Kyber and Neo are basically direct competitors in all regards, and it's worth looking at the Kyber chart to just give you an idea of potentially what Neon or AnyX could look like going forward. So let's pull up that chart and let me just show you. Let's go to the daily and let's zoom out. We are seeing, you can chart this right here. This is what I like very much about Kyber. It has traveled in a very, very smooth line. And if we add another indicator here called OBV, which allows us to take a look at the volume, it has been very gradual and steady, and it's picked up a little bit, obviously, the last couple of weeks. But I was looking at this, seeing the volume. You know, I liked this. This is what I liked a couple of weeks ago. This was going up just like this, and this was gradual. Right now we're seeing a little bit of the volumes kind of staying around the same. It's kind of flatlined there for a while, and we're going up. But for a while we were seeing nice gradual growth in volume and a nice healthy rise in Kyber. And I think we'll see the same things going forward with AnyX. I think it's a great ICO and could even be great flip. Kyber, for comparison, it did get a lot of attention. It sold at 5-6x post ICO, and then it dropped to about 2 to 3x post ICO. I think about 3x. It went from 50 cents during its ICO to about $1.50 in its ICO. So I think that I see your comments, Munted one. I think there is definitely they're going to coexist, Kyber and AnyX, because they are. I don't think for the meantime Ethereum or Neo is going anywhere. They're going to coexist, and they're both going to do very well. I think that it's a hands down a smart choice of investing if you can get in. Of course, these are only my opinions, so don't take them for fact. Do your own research, read the white papers. But AnyX anyway is regarded as probably the biggest ICO of the spring for most. So if you're not familiar with it, it's very similar to Kyber. It's just basically for Neo and their platform. So Nani Cleaner asks, and let me know which wallet is most legit in cryptocurrency. There's a number. There's no one set wallet that is legit. What really matters is that do you own the private key to your wallet? If that's the case, then it's safe because you are in complete control. And there's a number of wallets that provide you your private key. You have Mu, you have hardware wallets, you have cold storage wallets. They all provide you your private key. As long as you have your private key, you're golden. If you leave it on an exchange, if you trust a wallet that does not provide your private key, then that's where you go wrong. The Nano Ledger S, the Trezor wallets, they provide you your private keys, so they are safe. They are good. Now, I also want to cover a couple of runner-up ICOs that I also like and I also am looking to participate in that I think are good. The couple interesting ones, and in no particular order, let's start with Seal. So Seal is, and they had an interesting hack and it is very unfortunate. Two of the admins recently came off of the team and hacked or stole, I think it was about $2 million of funds from people, which was quite unfortunate. From people, you know, telling them to send money to an address that they actually owned that was not part of the team. So there's actually been some backlash against Seal, but Seal is calling themselves a Gen 4 cryptocurrency. I thought it was only a matter of time. So that obviously is catchy. It's, you know, like I said, it's not a, it is not a, an ICO I'm taking like a huge gamble on. It's not something that is amazingly interesting or flattering, but it's very interesting in the fact that they marketed themselves as Gen 4. Seal is an empowered upscale neural consensus protocol for high throughput concurrency among large scale heterogeneous nodes. And honestly, we summarized this very well for you as part of being a part of the CryptoSaamne Advantage. You guys know that this was one of the ICOs we covered, and it was very difficult to summarize. It was very challenging of a read in their white paper, but it seems interesting. I left it here as a runner-up because the fact that they were thieves is, you know, offsets you. It doesn't put you on, what would you say, you know, doesn't put you at ease, you know. So it's in the runner-up category, I guess you could say. TomoCoin is another one, and TomoChain is what it's actually called. It's an ICO I've already participated in, so you can look to basically participate in it maybe afterwards, but it was recent. I participated in the pre-sale. It looks like you might actually be able to come forward and participate in the actual public sale, but they're building an efficient blockchain infrastructure for decentralized apps and token issuance and integration. And they were actually one of the, if you're a part of any ICO pools or in other groups, you might know that TomoChain was they were widely over what do you call it, over bought. They had too much people looking to participate in their ICO than they really needed. There's a couple of people here that I've actually worked with that I know. Min from the B Token, from Civic. She's on a couple of other projects as well. We have the director of QLink, which is a company, a decentralized cryptocurrency that's looking to kind of put mobile minutes onto the blockchain. So a couple of good advisors. Co-founder of WeTrust as well. Co-founder and vice president of the R&D at WeTrust, which is also a great cryptocurrency. They're partnered, and investors come from Neo, One Block, Eden Block, Blockchain Investment Club. They got a lot of great backers with us, so I'm looking forward to TomoChain. It's something that I've already participated in. So again, none of these ICOs that I've talked about were paid, sponsored reviews. They were all ICOs that I've either participated in or I'm looking to participate in the future. Not going to do that to you. So TON, I don't know about TON. I think they're looking to raise $2 billion. And in fact, if you're part of the CryptoSaamne Advantage, you'll see we actually rated all the ICOs as well. Even the ICOs that we didn't talk about. We basically took a look at, what was I going to say? All the ICOs, and we rated them for you, and we gave that out for you guys. So if you head to the CryptoSaamne Advantage on the paper, you'll take a look. We talked about all these ICOs. We talked about WeTrust. We talked about we tried to rank all of them for you and go over what it was and so forth, and we talked about them. And TON, they're just looking to raise too much money in my eyes. That's a red flag to me. I rated it, it was a worthy mention, I think, in our report. But some of these ICOs, these big companies that are kind of selling out maybe to just create an ICO, I question. I don't know, it's speculative in nature, but you can join the CryptoSaamne Advantage. It's even free for 14 days. You can see that report that we wrote to learn a little bit more about what we thought about TON and so forth, because we talked about them. We ranked all our ICOs for the month. We talked about which ones we would be helping you guys get into. We will rather. We have an ICO right now that we are keeping under the radar that we might be pooling for. So there's that. If you want to try it, 14 days free, of course. That's all up to you. Bitcoin and everything doing very well today recently. Markets are green. Very good day. We have Quant Stamp doing very well. Neo recovering. Neo was at $60. And anybody buy the dips? I was here the other day when basically when Bitcoin was at like 61, and I was like, man, I'm going in. I was going in. It was a great day. Ocean Protocol, also data related. I agree. Ocean Protocol is another data. So if you like data, they are very similar to some of the other ones. Data wallets, Doc. I think data is going to be a huge industry. It falls under my kind of just things that I know and I'm comfortable with. I like to, when I do participate in ICOs or even cryptocurrencies in general, get into a market or an industry that I'm familiar with. I'm an engineer, so I'm more familiar with some of those. I stay away from lending or gambling cryptocurrencies for the most part because I just don't know a lot about them. It hasn't been my background and so forth. So you have that, you have that. There is that. So I like participating in things I know, and I love data. I'm a scientist, basically. What else? I feel like there was one more runner-up ICO, and let me take a look at my reports that we covered. Where is it? ICOs. Where did I put that document? Let me see if there's an ICO that we're missing. Top ICOs of the month that we covered. That was last month's. Where is top ICOs of February? Which ones? No, I think I hit them all. Those are a lot of the ICOs that are on my radar. There are obviously a ton recently. A ton of ICOs, not to be confused with the Telegram ICO. But, there's opportunities to be made. And I only invest what you can afford to lose. And while we're at it, I do have to pick a winner from yesterday's video on Snae's video, markets still crashing, the SEC, which was great news. By the way, very, very positive news, I think, came out from the SEC. Very good news. And I'm looking forward to it, actually. There's going to be a lot of innovation, I think, in the space as a result of that meeting. And I think we're just in the beginning. And I think they're going to be building a lot of infrastructure going forward. And I'm looking really forward to it. But we are going to pick a winner. If you like these videos, just give it a thumbs up. Give it a heart. And by the way, we do give away free cryptocurrency here every day on the channel. All you have to do is comment on this video after it's done and basically give your ERC20 address, because we're giving away free Tron. We love Tron. No, we don't not like Tron. We're not giving it away because we hate it. We love it, and we want you guys to have some. So we are going to look for a winner here. 48 random comments, and the winner for yesterday's or the day before is going to be Pebble Monkeys, BTFD, and HODL. HODL gang, HODL gang, HODL gang. HODL that crypto. You just want yourself some free cryptocurrency. We'll reach out to you, and well, we don't even need to reach out to you. We're just going to give that to you. Drop it right into your address. So congrats on winning, Pebble Monkeys. You won yourself some free cryptocurrency. To be eligible, all you have to do is comment on this video tomorrow. And if you guys aren't a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. We do these videos here every day. And let me see if there's any other questions to answer related to ICOs. We'll be back tomorrow. Bankra is actually a good ICO. I participated in the pre-sale like months ago. I like Bankra. Honestly, there's a lot of good options recently, and you can't go wrong. You really can't go wrong. So share this video if you're happy with the content, you liked it, you thought it was good. What else? Anything else? Any other last minute questions? I'm so mad the whitelist is closed for Bridge. Something CryptoSaamne can't relate to. What else? Bridge protocol whitelist ended. Yeah, look, I think it did, unfortunately. Any other questions? Thoughts on Fusion with all the FUD? What you going to do after the stream? After the stream, we actually are in talks with a lot of people right now about moving to Puerto Rico and hiring on some writers. So if you have any experience in either of the two, we're very interested in Act 20 and Act 22, especially because we're looking to start our own ICO. We're looking to realize, obviously, a lot of our own crypto assets. And I'm not going to make any lie about it. I want to keep my money, and there is tax havens that cryptocurrency and Puerto Rico together are providing, and I'm looking to move because I don't want to pay Uncle Sam, although I am Uncle Sam. So but you know what I mean. I'm not the real Uncle Sam. There's an Uncle Sam here in America, and he takes all my damn gains, albeit I haven't really cashed out much. I live very much inside of this crypto world, and I know that it's going to continue to do well, so I'm very much an advocate. So I rarely cash out, but in the future, when I want to, it'll be very nice to live in Puerto Rico and be able to do so very easily. So I'm spending a lot of my time after this stream researching Puerto crypto 2022 and all that stuff. So we are going to be aggressively pursuing that, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Our portfolio tracker is coming soon to a store near you. Last question. In 20 years from now, how do you think people will look back at Bitcoin in this revolution? I think they'll look back at it like they do the internet. They'll wish that they were a part of it. They will see the innovation. It will either happen, they will either do it or it will happen to them, and they might not even know it. That's how big I see blockchain. The internet is just a part of our lives. You don't really have to go learn it as a skill set. It's kind of just a part of our everyday lives. It's just naturally integrated. And I could see blockchain and cryptocurrency being that. I could see that happening to blockchain and the advent of all these different things. And I think that people will look back on it as either missed opportunity if they didn't get in. They'll have said that I've heard about Bitcoin when it was only $20 or $200. And even today, $8,000 will be nothing. Will be nothing compared to what this will be in the future. You have the opportunity right now to buy Bitcoin at $8,000, and I'm telling you, you will be one of those people that says, wow, I bought Bitcoin under $100,000, and you'll have been glad, because I do see it going over $100,000 and well beyond. There's no secret about it. The key, self-key or Civic? I like the Key and Civic, not as much as Self Key. I think Civic is first to market. I like the Key because it is geared mostly for Neo's economy. So if you're interested in Neo's world, you got Nex, you have Neo, you have high performance blockchain, you have the Key, you have Trinity, you have all these. You know, if you like the Neo world, then those are the the cryptos that you should be paying attention to. And I like the Neo world. I'm living in a Neo world, and it's just my world. I'm living in a Neo world. I love Neo. I think it's a great cryptocurrency. Don't over leverage yourself though. I'm into a lot of platforms because I think they all could do well, and some more than others because I like some more than others. So QTUM or Neo, I've always said I liked QTUM more. I'm a QTUM fan, although I own both. Someone asks on Twitter. So I think that's going to round it out here for today. I'm very glad to have all of you on the stream. Please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Lastly, you can try the CryptoSaamne Advantage 14 days for free. You can check out all the reports we make. We make them almost daily. Not going to promise daily if we don't do it daily, but almost daily about what we're doing, what we're buying, what we're selling, and all that good stuff. So have a good rest of the night. If you know anything about Puerto Rico, Act 2022, looking to move, looking to participate in the new digital economic movement, excuse me, give me a ring. Until then, me and my bald shaved head are going to go have a good night. I'll see you guys all very soon.